welcome to this edition of Hebrew Nation News on YouTube. Every week, the world seems to be accelerating faster and deeper into end-time events. Listen in with Bonnie Harvey as she covers the news highlights of the week for a quick overview. Remember, we know not the day nor the hour, but we do know the season. Reporting to you live on YouTube is this week's news report, Countdown to the Second Coming. HebrewNationOnline.com website has a whole new look. We have reorganized our podcasts into streaming channels to make them easier to find. Don't worry, all podcasts are still free for the first 7 days, and then they move into a channel. Channels include news, Hebrew Nation Radio Originals, Torah teachings, lifestyle and health, morning shows, and the free archive. Channels are only $5 a month each to subscribe, the cost of one latte, or subscribe to all channels for only $20 a month and have access to more than 10,000 archived podcasts. Check us out at HebrewNationOnline.com.
Welcome, everyone, to another Countdown Report. A lot of questions about Hillary. Bottom line, people are still asking, is she even alive? It appears as if her body double is being used. They are wondering, there are reports that she is on life support in Chelsea's, quotes, apartment. Trump has enjoyed a 6-point lead after Hillary's 9/11 breakdown. Even supporters of hers are stunned at her lack of transparency with them. They have given a year or 2 years, 5 years of their lives to help boost her into the presidency. And now they find out from public media that she is very, very sick. Chelsea's apartment is the same as a medical clinic. Frequently asked question, why not withdraw? 3 friends say that Hillary has stage 3 Parkinson's. Did they buy this huge apartment for Chelsea and then outfit it with their own medical clinic so she could receive medical treatment away from the prying eyes of press and public physicians, away from public ER rooms, away from physicians who might talk? The mood among top New York Democrats is that if she suffers another spell, they might be looking for a replacement. I think that might be moved up and hastened. She is to begin the debates with Trump in a little over a week. Physicians in America and elsewhere are increasingly speaking out, saying that the American public has been lied to. They are saying that heat stress, sudden illness, they slump limply. That is what people do when they, quotes, faint. What Hillary did was exhibit a rigid body motion, and she was in spinal extension. This is not fainting. This is something else. Parkinson's patients are notorious for falling during freeze episodes when their bodies just won't move, and that's what we saw during the 9/11 tape, the 9/11 video when they're trying to get her into the car. And when I saw it, I said, that almost looks like a Frankenstein type walk. And that's exactly what it was. Her muscles had frozen. And people who have Parkinson's and they go into this freeze stage, they cannot get their hands out to protect themselves. So when they fall badly. And this brings to mind Hillary's severe head injury when she fell. The real problem with Parkinson's is that there is a dementia and cognitive impairment aspect to Parkinson's that would mean game over for her political future. Why does she not have tremors? I was asked when I presented this yesterday in front of our Bible study group. You know, it seems that 75% of Parkinson's patients go the tremor route. About 25 go the gross motor function route. And Hillary's type of Parkinson's seems to be the latter, gross motor function impairment, and not the tremors, Head bobbing and exaggerated eye and facial movement are seen as classic responses to the drug levodopa, which is a classic medical intervention for Parkinson's. Let's take a look at this clip. This is very disturbing. This has President Obama talking about the end of the Republic, talking about maybe they won't even be having White House correspondents dinners anymore. These remarks were said to a very friendly audience, the mainstream media who adore the left. And he's saying, this is my last White House Correspondents' Dinner and maybe the last. Why does he say that? Is he planning on not having White House press dinners anymore? Are we going to, in the near future, not be needing the White House press? Is he going to declare himself king, dictator, whatever, emperor, and do away with all media? There would then be no need for the media. The second clip has President Obama talking about if there is a winner in the upcoming presidential race, and what does he know that we don't?
Good evening, everybody. It is an honor to be here at my last, and perhaps the last, White House Correspondents' Dinner. You all look great. The end of the Republic has never looked better. Ultimately, it's the American people's decision to make collectively. And if somebody wins the election, somebody wins the election.
What does he know? Is there going to be no winner in this election? Are the elections going to be called off because a candidate is incapacitated? Saturday, Trump catches Hillary in the Electoral College, and he's gaining quickly. If you look at the graph, his line is going up, 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 and Hillary's is going down, down, down. She has lost supporters as a result of the 9/11 occurrence. The Hillary supporters are, quotes, in a tsunami of anguish, says Matt Drudge. Does this guarantee martial law prior to the election? Or some kind of a major intervention that the election is just simply postponed? Hillary appears to be back on the campaign trailer, but still coughing. And even the foreign press, reports Stephen Ben Noon, is commenting that this is not Hillary, but this is a body double. Bad news keeps coming for Hillary. Her charitable foundation, quotes, charitable, only spent 5.7% of the millions, perhaps more, maybe billions, on charities. In fact, in 2014, they spent 40% less on charities than they did in 2013. The Haitian president is willing to testify against her, saying that Bill Clinton came down to Haiti after the earthquake in 2010 and said, "You stick with me and I'll make you the richest man in Haiti." The president said, "I can't be bought." He was offered a bribe. He said that they can't bribe me. And he said, "Get out of here." He wanted the Clinton Foundation to not campaign in Haiti, but of course they did. Got incredible outpouring to the Clinton Foundation on the part of people. Congress requested the audit, citing the foundation as a lawless pay-to-play enterprise. The Hillary Foundation, the Clinton Foundation, is incorporated out of Canada, hoping to avoid congressional or United States oversight. That per se should be a big red flag. What is she doing? They have come actually from the beginning of their political career to kill, rob, and destroy. That's what they've done for 30 years. Here's a German ad. Ladies, wear a burqa. burqa means we give up our own culture and adopt the Islamic culture. And notice this lady has her blonde hair flowing all over the place. She has her legs hanging out. This in no way offers any kind of Muslim acceptable attire. If she would wear this in Iran or any other conservative Muslim country, she would be the religious police would be after her. Nonetheless, they're trying to inch the German women more toward being more acceptable of a burqa, and they're saying, yeah, it's pretty, pretty, pretty. You know, just go this far, and then, of course, that's the edge of the wedge. Pretty soon, we ourselves, the Western women, will be black moving objects, aka females. Yeah, tolerance means do what they do. Give up your own culture. The Kinneret is drying up, Sea of Galilee. There's a Talmudic prophecy that says, when an island appears in the Kinneret, the coming of the Messiah is near. Also, he stated, the Golan and the Upper Jordan and the surrounding area will be destroyed. Is that Gog and Magog? The normal rains of Israel have gone to southern Israel. Very interesting. Do the rains represent the Spirit? The early and latter rains is the Holy Spirit moving upon the Jewish people? Is this another sign of the end? Remember in Gog and Magog, after the Magogian War, Scripture says there is not one person in Israel who does not know the Lord. America is, while the Spirit is moving toward the Jews, it seems to be moving away from the Christian countries, the traditionally Christian countries. Here, our own country is increasingly moving toward a civil model, a legal model, where religions are a burden to homosexual rights. Homosexual rights has been elevated to a status-based classification, the same as race, ethnic origin, gender, and they have included in this legitimate classification of status-based protection. They have included the perversion of homosexuality, and then that gives them the sledgehammer against religion. Hillary Clinton is on record insisting that gay rights means that cultural, religious have to be changed. Have to be changed. The U.S. Commission on Civil Rights report said that, it is lamentable that the Constitution limits governmental burdens on religion. If they could outlaw it, they would. And that's where we're going. That is where we're going. Everything will be outlawed except the one world religion. They're saying religious exemptions significantly infringe upon civil rights. And you can see this is all status-based: race, color, national origin, disability, gender, and they have included in here sexual orientation and gender identity. They are trying to bootstrap perversion into a group of legitimately protected rights. But the people cannot change. You cannot change the color of your skin or your national origin. You can't change that. But the sexual orientation and gender identity are perversions. They are choices. The federal legislation is being urged that would allow religious rights only to the extent they do not unduly burden civil rights. And this is a result of elevating homosexuality to the basis of a status-based discrimination classification. In other words, homosexual rights are superior to religious rights. And this is where our officials are going. Saying that historically, these are his words, religion has been used to justify all kinds of discrimination, and gives, some horrible examples, like the Holocaust, slavery. And he said that religious examples and religious reasons are the most despicable pieces of rhetoric that people can use to use their religion to hurt others. So you can see how the issues are being confused here. Homosexuality even conquers the Bible college. Biola, who is considered one of the most conservative, now has a purposeful community-focused program for students with same-sex attractions, seeking to provide a caring, supporting community where, blah, blah, insists that this in no way alters their conviction that marriage is a man-woman institution. So I guess they can have it both ways. Belgium euthanizes a minor. We remember that Nazi Germany started euthanizing brain-damaged babies, and pretty soon they're committing genocide. Is this the edge of the wedge for euthanasia? Belgium now limits euthanizing children only if they're over 12 years old. But this is a dangerous precedent. This is kind of a make it or break it time for the globalists. There's increasingly pushback. They're blaming Trump for this. They're blaming right-wing populism, flat pushback on Trump. Their right-wing populism has grown up all over the world, in Europe, Eastern Europe, Germany, Bavaria, Philippines, United States, UK. I mean, look at the Brexit vote. Trump is empowering people to stand up and say, no, enough is enough. We do not want to be globalists. We do not want superstates. We do not want an army, a global army, the EU global army, to be manned by unelected officials. We don't want this. And many countries, Russia, Iran, China, they do not want a global government. They say they will not join the New World Order. So it looks like we're looking at a conflict between East and West here over the global governance proposition. But Venezuela, is this a glimpse into America's own future? They are rounding up people at gunpoint and taking them into buses and taking them to jail. 9 out of 10 report they're not getting enough to eat. The government is pressing people into labor to produce food, quotes. People roam the streets looking for dogs, cats, and pigeons to eat. A dozen eggs cost $150. Dry milk is $100 a pound. They are arresting people who try to wait overnight so they can be first in line the next morning. Just rounding them up on buses, taking them away. The buses are called Dracula's buses. Is that a glimpse into our own future? There's here we see on the lower right the two photos there show a guard tower that was just moved into a Walmart in a small Carolina city, small town, and it has stayed there. The CCTVs, they have a ramp up there, so be mindful. They can put a guard tower anywhere. I mean, who's making these things? Who's manufacturing these things? One Walmart in Montana has already been refitted as a prison, and we see that on the lower left. Why are towers so frequently built into malls? That is a good question. The architects say, why? When they're given a budget and they say, build a mall, they say, you know what, we could give you a better mall if we didn't have to build these towers. They are costly as far as materials and labor. They drive up the cost of the production of the whole mall. They are being told that that is what the client wants and to drop the subject. Here is a mall, towers. Here is another tower. Here is an aerial of a, I mean, who's going to this mall? Who is going to use it? But take a minute, stop, pause this, and count those towers. And they're all on the biggest ones are on the outside. If Deutsche Bank is the canary in the coal mine, according to David Wilkerson, that Germany defaults first, Germany starts the tumble, the domino effect of global finances. If Deutsche Bank is the biggest bank in Germany, it behooves us to look at Deutsche Bank and see what they're doing. This is the result of the DOJ assessment of fines based upon mortgage-backed security fraud stemming from the global fiasco of tainted mortgage-backed securities. Look at the fall. Boom. I mean, that is a cliff. That is a cliff. Steve Quayle had on his website this morning a writer in saying that January 1st of this year, can we even make it that far, there would be cash withdrawals only upon a written reason, that there would be a record of the reasons you want cash, and that negative interest rates would be imposed because of the failing economy. Here's an update on Mekudeshet. This is the wedding, the unholy wedding that is occurring in Israel at this moment. It goes through next week. It ends on the 24th. That gives it another week to go on. Stephen Ben-Nun and his wife are there on the ground trying to find out information. They were led to, quite happenstantially, but probably by the Lord, they were led to someone who they said they were very, very interested in what was happening. Remember, the public aspect of Mekudeshet only went until the 11th. And so everything since then has been a secret. So they went here, and the man thought that they were, genuinely interested, and they did. They had questions, and so the man said, "Come, you have to be quiet though. Just come and peek." So they went to the door and they peeked in, and everybody was sitting there over tables, and there were tablets, and they were writing in silence. "What are they doing?" asked Steve and Yana. "They are repenting of their sins," they were told. What sins? The sins done to one another. Christians to Jews, Muslims to Jews, one group to another. They are repenting and writing down all their sins throughout the ages. And Stephen opined that they are trying to fulfill this prophecy in Daniel. 70 weeks are decreed to finish transgression, to put an end to sin, to atone for wickedness. So he offered that they are trying to establish the millennial reign without the Messiah. They are trying to establish the millennial reign with the Antichrist. The Pope was not there. The Pope will not be there. But the Pope is going around right now urging Lutheran churches, Christian churches, Protestant churches to repent and to come back to the Mother Church, Rome. At the end of October, Stephen said the Pope is in Sweden, urging them to return. And already we're hearing that the Swedish people are being urged that wearing the cross is unchristian, and that they should, that Jesus is pro-immigrant and pro-open doors. Pretty much Jesus is a globalist. So, get on the bandwagon, people. So we can see this is a false wedding, all done to reggae and Ethiopian beats of the drums. This is satanic. This is an imposter. And this is what we're looking at. I'll keep you posted. I'll see you next week. Please be safe. Hugs to all.